What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jonathan with the Rideshare panel, and we are kicking off 2019 with the top 5 rideshare opportunities for drivers. The top 5 apps for making money in 2019. And I'm going to go through these. They're a little bit subjective based upon my personal experience, and the top 2 or 3 can probably be shifted around, but I'm going to give you guys a clear-cut, ranking based on my personal opinion. And so at number 1, we have Amazon Flex, and that's for a couple of reasons. One of those reasons is your car. The age of your car does not matter, which is huge. If you don't have a car that's 10 years or newer, you're not going to be able to drive for Lyft or Uber. Amazon Flex will take you. Amazon Flex also provides really good wages during the middle of the day. When most other opportunities for like delivery with DoorDash or driving passengers with Lyft or Uber can be kind of flat. And if you're a full-time rideshare driver, you're not going to be generating income during those times. So you need to do something. Amazon Flex will pay you, at least in the Seattle area, you can get about a 3-hour block for $60, and usually you can complete that in less than 2 hours. So that's really good money, during a time when other rideshare apps are going to be having a lot of downtime. All right, so number 2 and number 3 are kind of interchangeable here, but I'm going to go ahead and rank Uber as number 2 and Lyft as number 3. I only go Uber first because they own a larger part of the market, and so you're going to get more demand for rides if you're driving for Uber. Personally, I do like Lyft better as a company because I align with their morals a little bit better. But with that said, this is all about making the most income as a rideshare driver, and so Uber is going to be that better opportunity. And in 2019, there is still a good opportunity to make money as a driver for Lyft and Uber. It all comes down to driving at the right times and, kind of maximizing that effort. Not trying to do it necessarily 40 hours a week, but doing it at the hours during rush hour in the morning or the evening when you're going to get that peak pay, and then finding other hustles, in between that time. So I've checked in with a couple of sources to kind of find out what the Lyft and Uber averages are if you're driving only during the best peak hours and in the right markets. And one of those sources came from San Francisco, and they're making close to $24 an hour driving for Lyft and Uber in that area. Once again, that's not an average during all hours, that's an average during peak hours, and that's a very good market. Here in Seattle, it's also pretty high, not quite 24, but maybe $22, $23 an hour if you're driving at the right times. So there's still plenty of room to make a lot of money driving for Lyft or Uber in 2019. And as I mentioned in a previous video, driving for Lyft or Uber can actually be one of the best ways to better yourself financially, because if you're picking up hours on the weekends and the nights when people are partying and spending money and when you would be blowing your income, you are now making money and saving money when other people are spending it. And the best way to make more money is to actually save more money, not necessarily increase your top line revenue by making more annually, but increase that bottom line by cutting your expenses. Lyft and Uber are a great way to do that. So number 4 on here is going to be DoorDash, and it is the most popular delivery service across the country, and that's the reason why it gets number 4 ahead of Postmates, because there's just simply more demand for it. Delivering for DoorDash can make you really good money if you're driving at the right times. I've done it here in Seattle, and sometimes I'll make upwards of $20, $30 an hour driving at during the demand time. But the reason why it only comes in at number 4 is because demand is usually only highest during the dinner time hours, and it spikes a little bit during lunchtime as well. So there's no real broad range for making really good money on DoorDash. It's just about driving at the right times. Coming in at number 5 is Postmates, and it's not quite as high as DoorDash because the demand is not as high, but it's still a really good option to make money, and it can supplement your income if you're using it alongside of Lyft, Uber, and maybe Amazon Flex. Honorable mention, I'm going to mention TaskRabbit and Dolly. They're both, a little bit more niche-y. Dolly, you can actually make really good money helping people move stuff if you select the right gigs, but it's manual labor, so it can kick your ass after a while. And TaskRabbit's a really cool option that's popular across some parts of the country, and it literally lets you independent contract out just about anything you can think of. There's a huge selection of stuff on there, from delivering stuff for people to yard work to home repair. You can set your prices at whatever you want. That doesn't mean that people will pay you whatever you want. It just means that you can ask, for a certain amount of money, and if you have the right experience, you might actually get that higher hourly wage. And that's honorable mention. If you have a really good niche talent that you're very good at, something like TaskRabbit could actually be more profitable for you than Amazon Flex or Lyft or Uber. Let's say you're a plumber and you're certified and you want to pick up, new gigs through TaskRabbit, you can probably make a decent hourly wage on that. So that finishes off the list for the best rideshare gigs in 2019. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be dropping all the latest rideshare news, and I'm also going to be getting into covering some other side hustles that you can kind of use to maximize your income as a rideshare driver. They might not necessarily be rideshare, but let's face it, we're all just trying to make more part-time cash, and sometimes that involves opportunities aside from just rideshare.